start of our Layton City Council meeting for January 4th. It's our first meeting of the new year, so I hope everyone's enjoyed their holidays, and you can see we're back in business and ready to kind of move things forward. So at our meetings, it's customary for us to go ahead and start them with a prayer and a pledge, and we alternate each month. This month is my month, and being the fact that we had one of our county commissioners here with us this evening, I asked him if he wouldn't mind giving our opening prayer. So we'll go ahead and start with the prayer, and then we'll do the pledge. So, Commissioner Stevenson.
Our kind dear Father in heaven, we're indeed grateful to be able to meet here this evening in this city government meeting. We're very grateful for this country and for the opportunities that we have with the freedoms and for the blessings of a government that allows us to be able to have free speech and to be able to stand up for the things that we believe are correct and right. We're thankful so much for the men and women in this country who serve us in the different armed services, and we'd ask thee, especially during the conflicts that are taking place across this world, that thou may watch over all of our service people. We're thankful again for these leaders, for these people who are willing to spend their time and be able to learn and understand and research the issues to be able to make decisions which represent all of us. Again, we're grateful for thee, for the love of this country, and for all thou hast done for us, and would ask for the continued blessing of moisture that we need so badly in this area. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Would everyone please rise and follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you very much. And once again, thank you for our patience and our late start. I also want to acknowledge the fact that we do have a full quorum here tonight. Councilmember Tyson Roberts is online, so he is present for this meeting. And also, I want to acknowledge the fact that prior to our previous meeting, we had our swearing-in ceremony for 3 of our council members, our returning council members. So I want to acknowledge that. We have Councilmember Dave Thomas on the end over here, Councilmember Clint Morris, and Councilmember Zach Bloxham. So you can see that I'm excited that they're here and that we have a good team to work with. So with that, I'll go ahead and get our agenda underway. It's a very short meeting thing, or very short agenda item. However, we do have 2 sets of minutes that need to be approved. So I'll bring that to the council for action.
Madam Mayor, I would request for discussion from the city recorder that we remove the minutes for December 6th so the city recorder can do a little research on that.
Okay.
But with that, I would make a motion to approve the minutes of the Layton City Council meeting December 7th, 2023 as written.
Second.
Okay, I was going to say there's been a second that we adopt only 1 set of minutes tonight, which is the December 7th, 2023 meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
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 I know it's delayed. Councilmember Roberts?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I know. He's in Washington, D.C., so which is kind of cool because his daughter is going to be a page for, Senator, no, he's a representative for the 1st District.
She'll be an intern for Blake Moore.
Intern, okay. All right, very good. So that's exciting that we have someone representing our city back there. Okay, I'll go ahead and move on to our municipal announcements. So does any of the council members have any municipal announcements that they need to share?
I do have one for the Layton CTC, that's Communities That Care. For those of you who don't know, this is a coalition for youth drug and alcohol prevention and suicide prevention here in Layton. We do have a Strengthening Families class that starts January 29th. And it is a Spanish-speaking class that will be held at Bayview Elementary. And we need participants. That class does not have as many participants as is necessary. And so if you know of any families that this course might be helpful to, I invite you to go to dbhutah.org, and they have a flyer there, and they can also register for that class. These are free courses. Dinner is also provided for these families. We also have an English-speaking class, but that class is full already, so we're glad about that. But I do want to spread the word about the Spanish-speaking class for strengthening families.
Okay, very good. Typically, Councilmember Roberts would go ahead and announce what our Parks and Recs activity is for the month. And being that he's online and we know that it's delayed, he'd asked that I go ahead and highlight that for him. So I just want everyone to be aware of the fact that on Tuesday, January 9th, at the South Davis Recreation Center is the family skate night. So it's ice skating, not roller skating. So the residents are welcome to go down there, and the entry is free on behalf of our city and the Parks and Recs program. However, you will have to pay for your skate rental. So once again, we'd like to encourage everyone to go down and have a good, fun family activity on Tuesday, January 9th. Okay. Anyone else have any announcements they'd like to share? Okay. If not, I'll go ahead and move on then to our citizens' comment portion of our meeting. So this portion of our meeting is for anyone who would like to address the council on an item that is not listed on a public hearing. However, tonight we do not have a public hearing. So if you would like to make any comments, then you're welcome to come up to the podium and please state your name and address for the record. Okay. Oh, are you going to go? Okay. You're welcome to come up. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of Layton City Council. My name is Braden Seymour. I live at 78 West Diamond Street, just a few minutes from here. I've brought this. Just wanted to bring this to the attention. I have in the past. The crosswalk that is located at the intersection of Hill Boulevard and Gordon Avenue is a very dangerous crosswalk right now. People have to basically play chicken with cars in order to get across. In fact, last night, my 14-year-old son and two of his friends were almost hit crossing that crosswalk last night. It's not very well lit, and it's also, it probably didn't really help that my son and his friends didn't have on very light clothing either. But regardless, that is one time too many where someone has been hit. My mom has almost been hit at that crosswalk once. My 8-year-old has almost been hit twice, and now my 14-year-old has almost been hit twice as well. So I'm just wanted to bring this to your attention that something needs to be done to make that crosswalk safer to use, especially during the day or even at night as well. So that way, drivers of cars will know that there's pedestrians using the crosswalk. Because I honestly don't want it to take I don't want an auto pedestrian accident to happen. That's one of the last things that I'm sure any of us would want.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
We appreciate that feedback.
Hold on.
Yep.
Gordon and what?
Hill Boulevard and Gordon Avenue, right by
Going down to
right by the church that's right there at 60 West on Gordon Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay. Does anyone else wish to address the council at this time? Okay. If not, I'll go ahead and bring it back then to our regular agenda item, which is number 5, our consent item. We only have one of those on tonight, and we have Mr. Chad Wilkinson that's going to present that information to the council regarding a preliminary plat for Adams Oak Hills subdivision.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is, as was stated before, this is a preliminary plat for Adams Oak Hills subdivision. This is a property that's located at approximately 2201 East, 350 North, as shown on the slide there, on the red dot. Get a little bit closer now, so you can see a little bit more detail. You can see Oak Hills here on the south side of the property. You can see the hollow here there on the north side. Some of the adjacent existing development is single-family homes predominantly to the east and south, with that open agricultural land to the north. This is a property that has some geotechnical constraints. It's within our sensitive lands overlay with the city. Just to remind the council of the process that the city goes through in reviewing and approving a subdivision in these areas. There is a geotechnical study that's submitted to the city. That study is reviewed by a third-party geotechnical engineer for compliance with best practices and with safety issues, safety factors that go along with any kind of development in geotechnical sensitive lands. That has occurred. I will say that originally this potential subdivision was proposed as a much larger subdivision with more lots. As they reviewed that geotechnical report, it became very clear that the mitigations needed to build that many lots on this property would be out of proportion with what could be done there. So that was pulled back to this 2-lot subdivision that's proposed for you tonight. Give you just an idea of what that looks like. There's lots and lots going on this map. One thing to keep in mind is the scale of this property. These are very large properties that are being proposed. You can see on the map those 2 lots. I'll just kind of outline them with my cursor here. You've got lot 1 here shown with that boundary, and then lot 2 is the larger of the 2 lots shown outlined in this boundary. There are quite a few easements that run through this property. There are storm drain easements, sewer easements, other things that have to do with existing utilities across the property. There's also 2 areas that are shown on this plat that are areas of geotechnical concern where mitigation measures will have to be abided by if these are areas that the applicant wishes to build on. Now, I will say, because of the size of these lots, you can see on lot 1, there's a very, very large area. You can compare that to the homes as you see to the north and to the east. This will accommodate a home very easily outside of those geotechnical constrained areas. The larger lot is actually the area where there's more constraints. There are areas where a home could be built outside of those geologically constrained areas. However, if they do wish to build in those, that's okay, provided they provide the mitigation measures that are recommended by the geotechnical report. We would anticipate these are single-family lots, so 1 home per lot on these properties, with the balance being kind of a large estate lot for the use. These are agricultural lots, so these could support animals on those properties. They could have farm animals, horses, cattle, whatever the case may be, if they choose to. This again went through that process. This is the proposed plat for the property. You can see again those. In this case, the existing easements are outlined on the plat. Those geological constrained areas are just outlined on that other document that you can see there. So with that, this was reviewed by our Planning Commission. Planning Commission has forwarded a recommendation of approval to the City Council, and staff supports that. Again, the specifics for that development can be found in your staff report. Again, with any subdivision, this would be subject to compliance with all of those city standards, and also in this case, the recommendations of the geotechnical report. Be happy to answer any questions if I can.
Okay. Council, any questions you have on this? Okay.
A 12-inch slab of cement. That recommendation from the geotechnical study. Have we done that anywhere else in the city? And I'm not an engineer, obviously, but that seems. I mean, if you're worried about the slope and we've had landslides in this area, not this area, but somewhere where it just goes. I mean, you have a slab. How does that?
Yeah, I'm not a geotechnical engineer either.
Okay, well,
I'll tell you what's been explained to me is
okay, that'd be great.
That acts as a way for that structure to kind of, in any kind of an event, kind of move as one structure rather than splitting apart or anything. So that's the mitigation, is that allows that to move as that solid structure. This would be something that we would, again, we want them to look at very carefully to try to put that home in an area that doesn't require that, but they could do that as mitigation.
Is this the only place this would be? Have we done a cement slab anywhere else?
I don't know of any other place where we've had that recommendation by the geotechnical engineer. I know that it was something that our third-party engineer said they have experience with. That was, it was something they've seen, not here in Layton.
Not here,
but our third-party geotechnical engineer that reviews these. So it's not an unheard of mitigation measure, but I'm not familiar with any others in Layton City.
Okay, thanks.
I have two questions. The first one is, you mentioned that they originally wanted this subdivision to be larger. Do you know how many homes they were originally wanting to put?
I don't remember the exact number of lots. It was over 10. I don't remember the exact number though. Yeah.
Okay, and then on lot 2, can you go back to the previous slide?
Mhm.
So, based on what's listed here and the geotechnical study in the area where they cannot build, they would be able to build in these areas that are not shaded or not hatch marked. Is that the only space that they could build in on this lot 2?
No, that lot is the mitigation area. So if they build within that area, that's when those mitigations would kick in. But again, the scale of this lot's a little bit deceiving. If you look at those homes that are built, these are large homes. They're not small starter homes by any sense of the word. But you can look at those homes and see that a very large home could still fit even in those areas that are not constrained by those geotechnical hazards. So it really comes down to what the placement that they decide to on that lot. I think in the report it talked about the ability to build outside of the non-constrained areas. That ability exists. I think it's less likely on lot 2, very likely on lot 1 that they could just build a home without having any kind of mitigation required.
Yeah, but I think that's what I was saying. So the outside area in here is currently where they would be able to build a home.
But they could build within that crosshatched area as well.
Oh, okay.
With mitigation. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's right.
Any other questions? Here, Nathan.
I guess with that being said, if that can be built with in those constraints, is there a reason why that's just one giant lot and not more subdivision?
Yeah, that particular mitigation, that's just something that was discussed at length with staff from our third-party engineer and others. It's not as effective for multiple structures as you might imagine. If you have to do that same treatment for multiple structures, and it's definitely not something that we were comfortable with for public infrastructure. So there was a proposal to have that same treatment under some of our public infrastructure, and we just said we're not interested in that. We don't want to have that same treatment. So it was just determined that the better course of action here was just to do two larger lots, estate lots. Previously, I believe there was a zone change that was being anticipated as well as part of this. They've also withdrawn that and come back to a large agricultural lot. So,
okay. It's just too bad since it's such a big piece of land. But all right, that makes sense. Thank you.
With a view.
Just one more. The Planning Commission, how was that discussion about questions that they had?
Similar question to the council. I think we had some citizens that attended that meeting, and they had some questions about traffic and other things. That traffic, of course, from a 2-lot subdivision is going to be very minimal, so we don't have any real concerns about traffic as far as that goes. I think there were some questions about how this would interrelate with the HOA, the homeowners association that exists up there on the property. There's no requirement. Certainly, if they wanted to come together and do a joint homeowners association, they could, but these can function independently. So,
Thanks.
You guys good? Okay, if you don't have any other questions, then I'll bring it back to the council for action regarding our consent item presented tonight.
I move that, do I approve or adopt? We approve this, right? I move that we approve consent item A, the preliminary plat for Adams Oak Hill subdivision as presented.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, it's been moved and second that we approve the preliminary plat for Adams Oak Hill subdivision. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, I did hear Tyson as well, so that's a unanimous vote that has been taken here tonight. So with that, I'll bring it back to the fact that that is our one and only item on the agenda besides the minutes. So that I'll go down to basically some unfinished business, which we do have some unfinished business. But before I call for that action, I do want to acknowledge the fact we mentioned that we had our swearing in ceremony this morning, but this afternoon. And certainly there's some treats up here if anybody would like to grab one on your way out, you're welcome to. But in addition to that, we like to acknowledge birthdays on the council. And so this month is Councilmember Clint Morris's birthday. Yesterday. And I like to find out what their favorite snack is. And in this case, we've got gummy bears. We got a bunch of gummy bears. So I got to bring the plate over.
Sure.
And Mr. Morris gets the plate of gummy bears here. And you can go ahead and pass them on. So anyway, I appreciate everyone once again for their patience. And I'll bring this back to the council then for what am I going to say? You need to bring about the fact that we need to go back into a work session closed door meeting, but also can conclude this meeting. So who would like to make that motion?
So you can do it all in one motion if you'd like, or you could do the motion to adjourn this meeting and then just resume your
Regular schedule.
regular scheduled meeting. You can take the vote in there or in here, whatever you prefer.
Okay. Well, these guys are pretty seasoned. Who wants to go ahead and take the action for us? So I need somebody to say.
Let birthday boy do it.
Okay, I move that we adjourn this meeting and reconvene our work session in a closed session.
Hey, is there a second?
Second.
Yay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, thank you very much. Thank you everyone who attended our meeting this evening.